Hello and welcome to a new video. In this video we're going to have a look at the headliners cards now that the promo is over and we're getting it ready for Future Stars this Friday. A lot of people will put these cards in the back of their minds, but if you keep an eye out for a few of these cards, since these cards are live, and invest in them either for coins or for your team before they become relevant again, you'll come out as big winners. So I wanted to have a look at a few cards that are closer to getting that 4 wins in a row upgrade, and see what they're worth right now, if they're worth buying, when to sell, how possible it is for the team to get 4 in a row, and if it's a video that you guys like, we'll see if we can make something like a weekly update to this with the new cards that every week might be getting closer. So for me, the best time to kind of get into these cards is as soon as a team gets to 2 wins. Then you have a look at their calendar and see when their next 2 domestic games are, if they're not too far ahead. They don't have any international or domestic breaks because of other games like cups or Champions League or Europa League or whatever. So if they have like 2 consecutive domestic games and they already have 2 wins in a row, then that's a great time, because it means that in 2 weeks they might be getting that 4 in a row, which is very soon. So that's the best time you want to get in on a card like that. So right here, as you can see on the screen, I have 2, 4, 6, 8 players out of all the headliners, which their team has, as of today, 2 in a row. And coming up this weekend, it's their 3rd game for all of them, except for Liverpool, which the 3rd game is today, and their 4th game is going to be coming up on this weekend. So Liverpool might be looking as the first team to be getting these 2 players. Ginny and Mo Salah are looking like the players that probably are going to be getting the first 4 in a row upgrade. So the 4 in a row upgrade starts from January 17th, and it's when the headliners promo started for all the cards. It doesn't start when the card came out. It starts from the beginning of the promo for all the cards. It doesn't matter if they came out in batch 1 or batch 2. As EA states on their site, the date to start counting for those games is going to be January 17th. So since that date, we have Bayern Munich, Dortmund, Leicester, Liverpool, and Real Madrid with 2 in a row. No other team has 2 in a row. There are a lot of teams that have 1 or none, but none of them have 2. If you see some teams somehow that they have 1 other games, they're probably from other competitions like domestic cups or friendlies or something like that. That doesn't count. The only thing that counts is the domestic league. So having a look at these cards, starting with Lewandowski from Bayern Munich, they already have 2 in a row. Their next 2 opponents, as I'm going to pull up here to have a look, is going to be Mainz, which is going to be this Saturday, I believe. And then next Saturday again, it's going to be Leipzig at home. They're in both games. In these 2 games, Bayern Munich is heavily favored. I don't think they'll have a problem winning both games. Against Leipzig, it might be a more competitive game, but I think Bayern will still get that win. So with that, it's going to be 4 in a row for Bayern, and Lewandowski will get +1 upgrade, so he's going to go to a 94, which is going to be permanent. And then every time, or if he gets another inform, which I think is going to be very likely for Lewandowski to get another inform, this card might go to a 95. This is one of the first cards that looks like a very, very favorite to get the 4 in a row. But on the other hand, looking at his price, at least on the PS4, it seems that since Friday or Saturday, this card has gone up at about 200k or more, from 750 to almost 950. So I think the potential for investing in this card is gone, because a lot of players probably are aware of this card right now, of him getting the 4 in a row. So the price has gone up by a lot. So I don't think this is a card that you want to invest in. If you want to buy him for your club to be played because you think he's going to get that 4 in a row and you want to keep him in your club, I will still hold out for him. Maybe hold out for rewards, maybe this Thursday. He's no longer in packs, but people are going to get rewards. People might start to sell stuff from their clubs because Friday is going to be Future Stars, and they might want the coins to buy new players. So I will either hold out for this Thursday, or maybe even wait for Friday for Future Stars and see it. Maybe players are going to be selling some of their headliners to buy some of the new cards that are out, and that might push the price down a bit. It's not going to be by too much, but it's going to be by a bit. So if he gets like close to 900 or below 900, that's going to be the price to buy him in, because I don't see him dropping any lower than that. The next team is going to be Dortmund, and we have 2 players there. We have Marco Reus and Delaney. Dortmund also has 2 in a row. The next 2 games is going to be this Saturday against Union Berlin, which is going to be a game that Dortmund is heavily favored. I think they're going to win that game easily. And then there's going to be another one, which is going to be next Friday. Not this one, the Friday after that. And it's going to be against Bayer Leverkusen. A bit of a tougher opponent, but still I believe that Dortmund probably is going to win that. Though bear in mind that in between they're going to have a cup game against Werder Bremen. So it depends on how the team plays against that cup game. Because cup games in Germany are, I think, one-off. If they go to a draw, they play extra time and then they go to penalties. So depending how that game goes and how many of the players are used, if they're overused and maybe they're tired, that might impact their game that they're going to have against Leverkusen. But if all goes well, I think after defeating Union Berlin, they're going to have 3 in a row, and it's going to be kind of I think a win going against Bayer Leverkusen. But like I said, for me it's like a, I don't know, 55-60% win for Dortmund against Bayer Leverkusen. So with that in mind, Marco Reus, again, his price has gone up by another 200k, so he's close to almost 1.5 million. So I don't think this is a card that you want to invest in. His price has really gone up. On the other hand, this Delaney has gone up by a bit, but not too much. I think he started out somewhere around 180, and he's now at 205 on the PlayStation. So he's slowly getting there. I believe after they get the win, or close to match day against Union Berlin, his price will go even higher. And if they win the game against Union Berlin, I think his price will go up by a lot. Now, if you want to invest in this card, there's still, I think, opportunity there. Maybe you want to buy him under 200k, and then if they get the win against Union Berlin, you want to always sell these cards in the hype if you're buying them for investing in this card to make coins. So I'm gonna you want to keep an eye out for the game against the Cup, which is going to be midweek next week. A lot of people won't know that that's a cup game, or the cup game doesn't count for 4 in a row. So there might be some panic buying, thinking that might be their first game. So you want to keep an eye out. If you bought some cards for coin investing and you see that the card is going up during that game, just sell it. And it might dip in price after the game is finished, and you might want to rebuy it and then keep it until match day for the 4th game, which is going to be against Bayer Leverkusen. So yeah, I think this is one of the cards that still has an opportunity to be invested in. Also because it's a good card, so if he gets that +1, I think it's going to be a fantastic card for a CDM. It's already a very good card, so with that +1, it looks like it's going to be a very good card. The next 2 are going to be Jamie Vardy and James Maddison from Leicester City. They already have 2 in a row. They have two opponents that for them I think it's going to be 50-50. They have Chelsea at home is their next game coming this Saturday. And then there's going to be a break for their games. And then they have Wolves away in 2 weeks' time. So it's going to be a long time since they have their fourth game. It's going to be the February the 14th, Valentine's Day. So it's going to be quite some time until they get there. But if they win Chelsea at home, which I think is pretty much a 50-50 game for them, but if they win that, I think they're going to have a good chance going into Wolves. Another 50-50 game, but I think they might be slightly favored there. So if they win that Chelsea game, I think their price is going to go really high. So if you want to invest in them because you think they're going to win against Chelsea, I think now it's going to be the time for them. Their price is alright, especially for James Maddison. If I go for one of the two, I will pick Maddison because his card looks very, very good, especially if he gets a +1. Especially with future stars coming up, there's going to be a lot of young players, English players, that will get good cards, and they might get a good, strong link to this James Maddison. So he's going to be a card that you might look into investing. Then we have these two guys from Liverpool, like we said. Their next game is going to be today against West Ham, I believe, away, which Liverpool is obviously heavily favored to win. If they win that, they're going to have their next game against Southampton at home. It's going to be their fourth game, and if they win that, it's going to be their first team to get players into the 4-in-a-row club, and Gini and Mo Salah are going to get that +1 upgrade. Now, Mo Salah, I think, is already very expensive, and I think his price has already gone up. The same with Gini. Yeah, I think his price has already gone up, not by that much, I think by about 60k, 70k. So there still might be some opportunities there if you want to invest in this card or just buy it for your team. I will just make sure, if you want to buy him, you need to buy him before tonight's game. And the last card is going to be Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Real with already 2 wins in a row against Sevilla and against Valladolid. So their next game is going to be, they have a game today, but that's a cup game, so it won't count. Their next game is going to be against Atletico Madrid. It's going to be the Madrid derby on Saturday. Real is going to be favored to win that game, but it's a derby, so you never know on those games who's going to walk out, but obviously Real is going to be a favorite to win that game. I think if they win that game, then definitely Varane is going to be getting a 4 in a row, because their next game and the fourth game is going to be the Sunday, not this one, the next one, against Osasuna away. And I think Real will probably win that. If they can get that win against Atletico, they're probably going to have a great streak going into Osasuna and probably going to win that game. So Varane is probably looking into getting a +1, going into an 89, which will make this card fantastic. I'm not sure about his price. His price has gone up, but not by that much, between 70 and 100k, somewhere around that area. So there still might be some investment opportunities for this guy to be bought. But like I said, if you're thinking about any of these cards, you need to buy them before the third game. If you believe that the third game is going to be a win, then you buy it before the third win. If you're investing for coins, make sure you sell between the third and the fourth game into the hype, when the card you think is going to be at its highest, to make coins. If you're buying it to just put them in the team, just keep them, and wait for that +1 upgrade. So this is going to be it for the headliners upgrades for this week. Let me know if you're interested in this kind of video in the comments down below, if you want to see more of these, so we can do it like next week and see which teams are heading into 2 games in a row, and what kind of opponents and how easy it's going to be for them to be getting into that 4th win, to see if we can make some investment opportunities. Obviously, I've invested almost all my coins into some of these cards, hoping to get that 3rd win in a row and then sell in the hype to make some coins. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how successful we're going to be with this. This is going to be it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.